Hello, everybody. This is Tim again here with another movie review. This time I figured I would do Lightyear, the Toy Story spin-off, the Buzz Lightyear movie. Now, just to get into pretty much my thoughts on the Toy Story franchise, I think the first one is a masterpiece. I think 2 is an awesome sequel. I actually enjoy 1 more than 2, unlike some people, which is fine. I mean, if they do enjoy 2 more than 1, but for me personally, I think 2 is awesome. I don't think it's as good as part 1. I think 3 is amazing. I think it's easily the best film of the franchise with an amazing ending. It really capped the trilogy off. You didn't really need any more after that, but Pixar got greedy. They wanted to do Toy Story 4. Toy Story 4 is actually I think it would actually be a great movie if you just judged it as the next sequel. But given that Toy Story 3 was so good and capped the series off so good, Toy Story 4 really has to earn its existence. And in doing so, it's only a good movie. Let me reiterate though, it's not a bad movie. Toy Story 4 is a good, solid movie. It's just not on the level of Toy Story 1, 2, or 3, but it's a good sequel. Then we got Lightyear, which once again feels like them still milking the Toy Story brand. Like, who really wanted a Buzz Lightyear spinoff? Nobody really. I mean, if you're gonna do a spinoff, it would probably be better if you did just if you just did like a Woody and Bo Peep spinoff, because Woody went with her at the end of Toy Story 4. Just do a solo Woody movie with him and Bo Peep. Honestly, I think that would probably make more money. But yeah, Buzz Lightyear. This movie pretty much underperformed in theaters. I don't think it totally bombed. It pretty much underperformed. Like, nobody was really like craving a Buzz Lightyear spinoff movie. I'm sorry, that just wasn't. As far as the film goes, anybody who's watched my channel knows I grade my movies from 1 to 4 stars. I'd give this a 2.5. It was all right. As a Pixar film, it was all right. I liked it. It's not as good as Red. I liked Turning Red better than this one. Actually, I thought that one was great despite some problems. Overall, I gave it like a 4 out of 4, I believe. I thought that one was great. Most of Pixar's early stuff is great. They've lately they've been kind of slipping a little in quality, not so much bad, but just slipping. This is definitely one of their weaker movies. You don't really need to see this film unless you're like a big Toy Story fan or a Toy Story fan in general, and you just want to watch all the Toy Story stuff. But it's not a bad movie. It's just kind of eh. One of those meh movies that I could probably watch once, maybe put on for the kids in the background or something. Be totally fine with it. Chris Evans replaces Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear. And I get it. I get the idea why, because like what Pixar and Disney said, he's playing the real Buzz Lightyear, and Tim Allen voiced the toy version, which sometimes the toy versions of characters from movies and stuff aren't voiced by the actual people. I get it. At the same time, though, it would have felt more right just to have Tim Allen, and he could have easily have done this. And I honestly think he would have made the movie slightly better. Chris Evans, I'll go ahead and say it, he does a good, solid job as Buzz Lightyear. There's nothing really wrong with his performance. By the end, when he shows up as old Buzz Lightyear, I actually think, if that's him voicing the old one, I actually think he does a great job. I'm pretty sure that was him voicing both. But yeah, he does a great job he does a great job as like the older Buzz Lightyear, which I'm pretty sure that was him voicing that one too. But as regular Buzz Lightyear, he does a good, solid job in the movie. I don't think he's great. He doesn't have like the warmth of Tim Allen and kind of the fun of his voice and how he delivered stuff. And they do some callback lines to like the Toy Story movies, like the first one where Buzz Lightyear looks and he's like, "You're mocking me, aren't you?" Like Chris Evans does that same callback here. Overall, though, he does a good job. He doesn't have the warmth and the fun of like the way Tim Allen voiced it. This is a much more serious Buzz Lightyear and a much more serious toned movie. I will say that this movie is slightly, maybe a little bit too low key, maybe a little bit too self-serious, maybe a little too dour. And when they try to throw in some fun moments, it really never like elevates the film to becoming fun. You just kind of get those fun moments, and that kind of does hurt the film. Pretty much the story is Buzz Lightyear accidentally crashes them on this planet. He wants to get them off the planet so they can go back to their wherever the hell they came from, Earth, I guess, and go back to like becoming space rangers and everything. Of course, there's some plot holes here. I mean, there's some story things that I also missed that I didn't really get. Like, they got Buzz Lightyear who wants to fix everything by, like, going to the future. I guess he's going to try to get some kind of crystal thing or something so he can get them off the planet or whatever. I guess that's what it is. He's doing that, going to the future to do that. I'm not really sure why they were sending him to the future and why that had to be the way they got off the planet. I kind of missed that plot detail, I'll be honest. Or they just didn't really push it home, so it kind of just like got swept over me, flew over my head. But yeah, he keeps trying to go to the future, and every time he does, he skips like 4 years, and eventually he comes back, and his friend, this black chick or whatever, who is the person voicing her, does a good job. She like eventually gets real old and dies, and you get to see her like constantly driving Buzz back to the spaceship to take off flying again every time he shows back up for them to try to be able to get off the damn planet. And she eventually gets married and everything and has a baby. I'll say this about this film. though, to bring this up. Like, I'm not political at all. I don't care about being Republican or liberal. I don't care. Politics are bullshit. You should just vote for whoever is going to be the best at the job, who has the best values to be president. And once again, who doesn't really matter who you. I mean, well, it does matter who you vote for to be president, but at the same time, the government is like 50% in control of everything, and the more things change, the more they kind of just stay the same, or just round right back, going right back, or end up going right back to what they to be bad to begin with. So no matter which side you're on, both sides are extremely flawed, and they're just a way to like box people into corners. We should just do what's right as a race, and that should be it as far as politics goes. But yeah, there are some like common sense things though that are right. Like there's a big uproar about this movie because it had a gay character in it, who's like Buzz Lightyear's black friend or whatever, who winds up like having a kid in the movie. Because she was supposed to have like a gay kiss scene, and I remember this being like so hyped up. And let me say this right off the bat: I have no problem if a person is a Republican or a liberal. I honestly don't care about either one, but I have no problem if that's what if you want to choose to be one of those or whatever, or you decide to be. But at the same time, no, this was blown up by both sides to be just ridiculous proportions. Liberals were like, "Yeah, put that gay kiss in there. Woo, own them, own those Trump supporters." You see the scene; it's barely noticeable. You wouldn't even know that it was a gay kiss if you just like had to go piss and come back. It's like barely there. It's not even a kiss. Like the way, and also just Republicans too, like people who are like really anti-gay, like really hyped it up, like, oh, they're gonna put that gay kiss in there. They're trying to turn our children gay. Ah, it's like it's barely a mention for like 1 second, and when it gets to the scene, it's like a peck. You barely even notice it. It's barely there at all. If you blink, you would completely miss it. Is it's so funny the way people like on both sides of the political spectrum hype this shit up like it's going to be this big deal, and it's absolutely nothing. If you just judge the movie as the movie, it's literally blank and you will miss it. It is nothing. Um, Overall, though, there is kind of a plot hole here, though, of course, because the chick's like, I got pregnant and had a baby. It's like, well, how the hell did you get pregnant and have a baby if you're a lesbian? I guess artificial insemination, maybe, but did they bring those stuff with them from like Space Ranger camp or something? Or does the military have that shit? I don't know. But she has a kid, though. Later on, her kid becomes like one of the important characters when Buzz eventually goes even further in the future. Um, and he teams up with the kid or whatever to go stop these robots that are attacking the planet. And of course, it turns out to be Zurg. I'll get to that in a minute. The best character in the movie is Socks, this robot cat, who is really cool. He's pretty much the comedy relief, and he's the charming character in the movie. And he pretty much just carries the majority of the film when he's on screen. Very adorable character. He could almost have his own movie, which you say that because that's the way it feels, but if they did it, it'd probably wind up like this Buzz Lightyear movie and not really work. But yeah, he's great. I don't know who voiced Socks, but that cat is great. Perfect in this movie. His comedy is the funniest in the movie. Buzz eventually takes Socks with him and goes further in time or whatever, and he ends up on the planet where it's being attacked by robots. Teams up with the granddaughter, not the daughter, but the granddaughter of the chick who was his friend. Because she had a son, and it's her son's daughter, I reckon. And he teams up with her and these other like cadets or whatever, trainees and all that, who are like really suck. And of course, the character arc of the film is Buzz learning to like trust others and be a team player and all that. Eventually, he comes to the realization that, well, you find out that Zurg is actually another version of Buzz who's much older, and this makes no sense. They never explain why there's two Buzzes. It's one from like an alternate timeline, I guess, but it's never explained why the hell he's here. How did he cross over from one time stream to the other? It doesn't make any sense. It's never explained properly at all. It's a very big weakness, obvious weakness of the script and the screenplay, but or weakness of the screenplay. I mean, from the ground up. But yeah, and so he basically he's got the stuff to do it now, and the old Buzz wants to go back in time completely and stop him from ever crashing on the planet. But young Buzz realizes that he can't do that. He's grown as a character and learned to like value others instead of just his own ego about his own mess ups and everything. And he's like, I can't do that because I'll be taking away my my friend, his female friend in the movie, like her life and all that because she grew up on the planet. And eventually, like the people who are on the planet, and, because he keeps going to the future, like they just want to live on the planet. Like they don't want to get off the planet anymore. So used to being there, so they just like made it their home, which is understandable. At the same time, though, there's plot holes in this movie. Like if they just wanted to get off the planet, why doesn't Buzz just like take the spaceships or one of the extra spaceships that he's got that he keeps using to like fly through time and just like find some alien race or whatever that can help him or something, or maybe send a distress call like back to Earth or whatever and get some new ship to like come up there and help him out. Like there's ways they can get out of that situation that doesn't require like flying to the future. But yeah, so he doesn't want to erase like her whole history and everything in her life. So he gets in the fight with his older self and eventually blows him up, along with the crystal thing he was going to use to go back in time. And then he lands back on the planet and he decides he wants to have a life. But then lo and behold, they do have a way off the planet. He gets to be they got another ship to where they can just get off the planet and fly away, and he gets to be a space ranger and like go to alien planets and fight other alien bad guys or whatever. So this almost feels like a pilot for a TV series. But yeah, like if they can just fly off the planet and go contact other alien species and stuff like that and do battle with them and all that, why do they even feel like they're stuck there if they can just fly away to see other alien races and species? They could just go get help from another advanced alien race. Like it's not that difficult. But yeah. So he starts flying away with Socks and his crew at the end, who are the trainees and all that. Then he's pretty much had his character arc with, learn to trust and take on as his team. And that's when it ends. Yeah, it's all right. 2.5 out of 4. It's not a bad movie. It's just kind of meh. I liked it overall by the end. I'm a Toy Story fan. I did not hate this film. It is not terrible, but it is close to like mediocre, and that's why it's in kind of like the meh range. Like Socks the Cat pretty much carries the whole thing. The voice acting is good though. Chris Evans does a good fine job as Buzz Lightyear. He's harmless. I know there was like that whole big all this stuff about politics. Like gay people existed in movies long before now. It's only like made into a big deal now because since Trump, our country has become like so divided, like in terms of Republicans versus liberals, and that's all that's online now on the internet is that. And like any time, and like people feel like actors can't like speak their mind or whatever when it comes to politics. It is fine for an actor to speak their mind and talk about their politics and to support their political system. That is fine. They have the right to do that. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it, but they have the right to do that. And there's nothing wrong with putting politics in movies, or like if you want to send like a positive message or a positive agenda in a movie, that is fine. But at the same time, you have to do it well. It has to be done a certain way to where it works and flows in the movie. And a lot of movies just fuck it up, and that's the reason it doesn't work. The gay character in this is not really a political agenda thing or anything like that, or any kind of like, I guess you could say it's like progressive, but it really shouldn't even be that word. It should just be ordinary. Gay people exist. It's fine. Who cares? Yeah, unless you're a bigot, I see no reason why you'd be bothered by there just being a random character who happens to be gay. It's not treated as anything like special or anything that needs to be like singled out or to like try to send some kind of message to turn everybody gay or something. It's just like there just happens to be a gay character. That's it. It's only mentioned like one friggin' second. That is it. It's no big deal at all. Overall, it's all right film. You're not missing anything if you don't see it, but at the same time, if you do see it, it's close to it's almost slightly all right, weak enough to be like a time waster, but at the same time, if you watch it, it's an all right time. It's an all right movie. I liked it. It's harmless. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.